In my last video, I introduced what is theory. There are many common misconceptions about what theory is. To clear up those misconceptions, I'll clarify what theory is not in 3 videos. This is the first video on what theory is not. In this video, I'll focus on the idea that theory is not objective truth. Rather, it is a conjecture that scholars come up to explain what, how, and why. This conjecture is independent of objective truth. In the 2nd century, the Alexandrian geographer, astronomer, and mathematician Claudius Ptolemy proposed the Ptolemaic system to explain relationships among the Earth, the Sun, the Moon, and the stars. Ptolemy argued that the Sun, the Moon, and the stars moved in small circles around much larger circles that revolved around the Earth. The Ptolemaic system remained Europe's accepted cosmology for more than 1,000 years until a Polish mathematician, Nicholas Copernicus, came along. In 1543, Copernicus proposed a different theory called the heliocentric theory of the universe, breaking away from the widely accepted Ptolemaic system. Copernicus proposed that the Sun, rather than the Earth, is the center of the universe. Then Galileo Galilei came along. Galileo supported Copernicus' heliocentric theory of the universe, claiming that rather than being the universe's fixed center, the Earth was in fact orbiting the Sun. In 1633, going against the world's most venerated scientists at the time, who revealed a clear intention to present Galileo in the worst possible light. Galileo was tried and convicted of heresy by the Catholic Church for supporting the heliocentric theory. Galileo was sentenced to house arrest until his death in 1642. But the truth remains to be true, regardless of how people perceive it. Over time, more and more scholars began to recognize that Galileo was right all along. A theory, such as the Ptolemaic system, could be popular, but still is not true. With this said, you are free to throw cold water on prevailing theories in the field of educational leadership. In fact, if you want to do good science, you are encouraged to do so. It is a misconception that we can judge the credibility of a theory by its popularity. In fact, how often a theory is cited by other scholars does not follow a bell-shaped normal distribution, but a highly skewed power law distribution. In all scientific fields and at all times, only a few theories are disproportionately influential. If you use the x-axis to represent the number of theories in a scientific field, and use the y-axis to represent how often a theory is being cited by others, you end up plotting a power law distribution. A few influential theories attract disproportionate attention from other scholars. In the power law distribution, they are on the left, as shaded on the screen. Those theories are frequently cited and are written in textbooks and teaching materials. New scholars cite those theories to pay homage and showcase their knowledge about those influential theories. The new scholars' preferential attachment to influential theories creates the Matthew effect. The name of the Matthew effect came from a Bible verse in the book of Matthew 25:29. For whoever has will be given more, and they will have an abundance. Whoever does not have, even what they have will be taken from them. The Matthew effect is also called the rich get richer effect. The rest of the theories, the ones on the long tail in the power law distribution, are left in publications that collect dust. They may be rarely cited or never cited. It is also possible that a theory that attracts little attention now may turn out to be the mainstream in the future. In the field of educational leadership, the construct of instructional leadership can be traced at least back to 1941. It did not become a prevailing construct until the 1980s, when education reform, school improvement, and school effectiveness were the focuses of educational leadership research. More important, truth remains to be true, regardless of how we perceive it. You don't need to believe in the theory of gravity, but gravity will work if you jump out of windows, at least on this planet. You don't need to believe how power works in your individual mind and the collective mind of your team, but power will run its natural course of life. Unlike truth, theories are always mutating as we gain more understanding of a phenomenon. Is the Earth flat or round? Our little corner of the surface right beneath our feet looks flat. Zoom out a little bit and look at a solar system or a galaxy as a whole. Now you can see that the Earth is not flat. Theories are not static entities. Once a theory is proposed, it is not set in stone. Looking back at the history of any scientific field, you may find that many theories are wishful thinking. Theory is an explanation, a proposition, and a hypothesis. If history serves as a guide, theories that are widely accepted today may be overthrown in the future. Even scientific consensus is temporary. Stay open-minded.